Our private client services team is clear and practical legal advice to our clients in the United Kingdom and Ghana. Expert help with will writing, probate or estate administration. Our will writers and probate lawyers can act for you to obtain grant of probate and carry out estate administration on your behalf. The probate takes place after someone dies. If there's a will, the named executor is responsible for ensuring that the estate of the deceased is secured, assessing its value and paying any inheritance tax. If there is no will, the intestate and inheritance rules require similar responsibilities. Our lawyers offer strategic and practical solutions to the issues which clients face, whether it's in relation to succession planning, will preparation, probate and the administration of estates, immigration and visas, contentious family or probate disputes, administering estates often with inheritance cross-border issues, international trust advice including residence, domicile issues, wealth preservation, a fast, efficient service from SRA-regulated professionals, transparent pricing. BWF Solicitors. Let us take care of probate.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Client success. A skilled worker, dependent granted leave to remain despite his overstay. Case overview. Navigating a complex path to successful leave to remain. Our client was a dependent partner of a skilled worker with an initial leave to remain until 2027. Unfortunately, his partner's employer canceled her sponsorship. They both received a letter from the Home Office canceling their visas, which were due to expire in December 2024. His partner found a new sponsor, who issued her a new KOS in December 2024, with 3 3-year sponsorship. She applied for further leave to remain, before the end of the visa cancellation and was successful. Sadly, our client did not make his application. By the time we took his case, he had overstayed by 10 months. He explained that he didn't know he had to make a new application. The challenge: seeking to convince the Home Office to exercise its discretion in his favor. We made his application as soon as we received his instructions. We prepared a detailed cover letter to explain why the Home Office must exercise discretion in his favor, despite his having overstayed for more than 10 months. Our strategic approach for a successful application. We relied on the Home Office's discretion, explaining why he thought he didn't have to apply for further leave, although his wife had. We relied on the Home Office guidance and supported our representation with factors highlighted in the guidance notes. Discretion may be exercised where the delay was beyond the applicant's control, or where the individual acted in good faith and has otherwise demonstrated compliance with immigration law. The outcome: granted 3 years leave to remain. Our client was granted 3 years leave to remain just a week after enrolling his biometric data. Takeaway: caseworkers may be able to exercise discretion under exceptional or compassionate circumstances where the application was submitted after the 14 days set out in exceptions for overstayers. You must always consult a lawyer when faced with such a complex issue. Facing complex immigration issues? Contact BWF Solicitors today.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on wherever you are. Mema obi biara akwaba ebe ye dwumedi so ene nso adom na hwe yi nti onyankopon ma ye mre se yemfa sa dwumedi ensambra ma kwan eye BWF Solicitors Legal Hours so na ye de bremu yi megidi se be biara wo ohun ye se ohun ye de amesre oni adofo fra onua bi fra adamfo bi fra ebusuani bi se mre na so ye ba be kamra asem ye ba be didi mremu ye ba be kyerɛkyerɛ mmere mu kakra na ɔmbɛka yɛn ho na yɛmfa dwumadie no nhyɛ aseɛ nkodu yɛbɛbɔ dɔnkropɛ ne ewie na yɛde dwumadie no abɛwie yɛ megyere sɛ wobɛka me ho na wahyɛ program no na walike page no afei nso no wokɔ yɛn YouTube channel no so abɔ mmɔden na subscribe to the channel na afei there is a notification button bi ɛwɔ hɔnom bɔ mmɔden no mmia so sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a abere biara yɛba so a woni nipa ebedi kan obeti en kan se yaba na kyerɛ sɛ wabɛka ebusua no na atie ne yɛde ɛma mo yi ɛna ɛyɛ menige sem pa sɛ topic yɛde abɛ ama nkrɔfo bebre edi abobo edi kyerɛ sɛ obia ɛnte ɔmo ho ase sɛ den na ɛba bɛka ya na sɛ ɛba bɛyɛ den na ɛnɛ yɛ maame wɔ ha yɛne ne bɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu kakra na nsa na ɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu no indi kan sɛ mbɛhwɛ a di kan bɔ success story bi a yɛn skill workers for a bi edi ebobo bi tete bi si agye me sponsor license ya ma me busumi mienu sɛ me nkɔ fie afi kra ya ma me kra me de ma nkɔ me nem because me nya ma adwen sɛ me ba bɛkɔ when mo nyinaa ɛyɛ nkrɔfo adwen ɔmo adadwen ɔmo problems a ɛhyehyɛ nso ne ase a ɔmo de ahyɛ ɔmo ho din a ɔmo kɔ na mmom yɛ bu baby sɛ akyia nanso embu yɛ sɛ embu yɛ nko ade a fa wasɛm na ɛyɛ skill worker asɛm no fa bɛ deɛ yɛka ne sɛn BWF Solicitors for sɛnea tie bia ɔmbɛko sɛ home office ɛde nhyehyɛ bi ba ɛyɛ na wobɛka sɛ yɛgyegya ekwan nketenkete bi ɛwɔ ho a ɛno no home office fo ankasa no ɔmo nhyɛ da ɛmfa mmara bia ɛnto saa deɛ no ho ɛmbia na ɔma pass policy bi a na ɔma pass law bi ɛwɔ nhyehyɛ bi ho obɛhu saa nhyehyɛ no na meka mmara ɛmbia na bibi clauses kakra bi hyehyɛ baabi ɛno clause menim sɛ ne meka no clauses bi hyehyɛ baabi saa clauses no ɛno na lawyer for a ɔmo aben a ɔmo nimdeɛ kɛseɛ ɛwɔ mmara no ho no obɛhu a na ɔmo atentam saa clauses yi na ɔmo de awe home office for na nkasa obɛhu a na omwedi nkunim ebi na BWF Solicitors de bi omohuni ne omani no esoso yie omohuni de bia efifi ehwiahwia home office loopholes a omagigija wo mra omode bemu na kire se omagina sa loopholes no ho no omode aye application na afede omotumi a challenge home office na de bia entina when it comes to BWF Solicitors na omoba omo success rate na trust me it's like almost 100%. Let's just say 99.99999%. Na de bibiara omudi nkunim esanse ye banemra BWF Solicitors omudi mufia. Yo, me kwasoi na mediane manya na ati ana ofrem na manya tin so ameje so na uhia me baby nso na ofrem ya meje so sara dodo na frem e anom hu se ye me ana se nye me ye me a uhia baby ye me a enti ene ye bekoye nim ye wo ye maame wa ha lawyer Eunice na mebisa no ayimbia se updates bi e wa around a mema ode aba betudwa ode betudwa nso wie a na afei na mebisa no kwan so se ene ye topic na ya kokukuraba no dodo na edi ho abobo. So I expect you whatever question you have in mind concerning the topic na ede abetudwa no bomodia ne bisa se ohwe na wo question no is not answered, don't worry. Bomodiana fre BWF Solicitors for my number no so ye program na no afre na either say you book an appointment, you can get an appointment on the telephone, you can get an appointment on a video call, a Skype, and I say Teams, and all the video calls are out in WhatsApp video bet me in your appointment. You don't need to travel all the way to BWF Solicitors or Marcia 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, Neso 7 Sisters. No, you don't need to travel to that premises before you can be attended. Obetumi a telephone consultation, obetumi a video consultation, obetumi ofre ope kra ope say lawyer na eba ofie kra na. I think they have a special arrangement for that. Na ono betna se na chese wa we tie wasem na we taking it further for you. Enti no ensro embohu na mesa obetumi afre 0208 4937340. Shesa na menso maninda o fast dial numbers ne so se ne be ya obetumi afre sanso no mo emergency number ye ka emergency number sorry pardon me na chese atu be bia din na wo fro bia obi amfi no wo boss emergency number no say ye immigration, say ye litigation, say ye family law hunsemo, say ye there be whatever circumstances are based on the krom ha long kwa dia wo fresh na me ya obi beje osuke no ayenhihye no aba betu e de aboa wo enti eye 077 1276 1884 misro shesa na me nso you can call it 24/7 anything say emergency number no eye 077 1276 1884 o fresh na mana emwe bia wa o metumi say ebane say omuntumi a they will let you know, but I've never heard that before. Internet just say debia omo ho maye BWF Solicitors sanete dodo na mabaso nyina medinchia kese e de mamu titru menua ba Tilly, I salute you wherever you are. Uba just say wote yampaya no abada sa na ye no abebubo roko ne sa frefre adofo ni enuanom se emre na so omombra na omombehwe enti sans na mede nchiakese ema gift esiedu crunchy mede Fred amwa mede nchia e de ma Michael bam Michael etisen baby biara wo ma mente wonka Kofinat back in Mayor 1 onso so medinchia ede ma sanso na panalo Pinozo onso medinchia kese ede ma odeni de bia. I don't know if I've been calling it right or not, but I guess sa na our friend tiny loop and I feel so abina ohene wa asanto apapa bi nso etira medinchia ede ma Margaret du jemfi dina doa sanso na menua be ma me bra penny adai tarebo. See, today's topic is very important. Please share the program. They are no very, very, very important. Today's topic, dear, me who yan me see kaish topic with dear in Hiankasa a bon crofobibri. So I'm expecting you to troop in with your questions where our dear lawyer Eunice Ebemao Mwaye say mwaye no anso senia open na bomodia, get in touch with them at the office na chese wenya extended version of the mwaye no. Enti aye BWF Solicitors me kasa aye tintin ye beko program ne so tem na afi yakọ menya me sister Penny lawyer Eunice mema ono so de nchia mu ohwaman kasa eda ma etie for na afi de ye de dwumedie no ato aso frio. Lawyer Eunice, good morning.
My tea fashion want to say
Adom nkwa o, adom me ho ye pa. Amen.
yɛda ase mekyia atiefo ne ahwɛfoɔ yɛda nyame ase sɛ ɛnɛ da yi mabɛka yɛn nsa. Happy new month to you all. I hope say nyame adom mo nenam so mo ho yɛ. We do every week just a bit of should I say awareness, not necessarily updates per se, but a bit of awareness in terms of in I know say they be almost say in Rana efa this new settlement scheme, and I say settlement proposed settlement na government na ede ba no ebe affect you in any way. Currently no, as I would put it, it is proposed into it is not yet the law. Say in Banobasisa, it will come through the statement of changes and I say immigration rules na yeah no into at least almost the better in Renimwa, we will let our viewers know say way for and no affect you way for and count way for affect you in this way or that way. But in say can say in terms of those who are already here, as much as possible, no, they are looking at increasing it from the 5-year route to settlement to 10-year route to settlement. Instead of say, oh yeah, 5 years maybe will settlement, no. Rather, after 10 years, you will now have to be should I say qualified in terms of
Yeah.
criteria and I say
Yes.
requirements now moving here
Ebe
and
ka ho
sana
asem.
on what mal settlement.
Mm.
Into as
Yeah.
much as possible, I think say it's important say viewers ne ahwɛfoɔ beto mboa ase na bibia de beto dwa no na yɛn nso yɛama atiefoɔ ne ahwɛfoɔ so ehu sɛ this is how things are going to go on from henceforth. Nti
Yeah.
definitely watch the space.
Yo, Lioness, ebeda ase. Wanom nkwan ne nyinaa gu fufuo ne ho, but still nkwan ne bi si gya so. Nti ebehwie gu fufuo ne ho na yɛaka ho asɛm. Na mepa akyerɛ ne sɛ, weti ho ama etiefoɔ ehu ne ɛɛkɔ. Ɛno na abɔ nkurɔfo bebree ho. So today we brought a topic, a very beautiful topic ɛyɛ newest in town, obviously in the home office administration no, and as the parliament, proposal a ɔmo de aba no. Ɛno na ɛna ɛba abɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ. Na megye di sɛ me nko a mempɛ sɛ mɛkyɛ saa adeɛ yi afa nti no, call a friend to call a friend. Come, let's talk about this particular topic and how it may or may not affect you. One way or the other, no nkurɔfo bebree ho bɛka, but embia na wo nka ho, embia na wo ka ho. How will you know? Join us whilst you share to others as well. Na ɔmo nso ɔmo ho sɛ sɛnea ɛkɔ yi, ebehu like Eunice edi kan no basic time na proposal afe na ɔmode tum from memo ahwɛ the reaction of the public, the reaction of the government, and the reaction of the home office no na afe ɔmo nhwɛ say is it doable? Should we go ahead with it or should we take our time? When mo nyinaa yɛ part of the discussion na ɛna yɛba abɛka no. So topic amako kukuru di aba na World EU National bebia EU nationals no and their family members. And you know, would EU nationals and their family members be affected by the proposed changes to the settlement rule no ɛno ne ɛka settlement rule na ɛyɛ a wobɛhu na yɛama obi pre-settle status ne yɛama obi settle status to the extent sɛ yɛde atototo nkurɔfoɔ din koraa wo a wɔ sɛ ɔyɛ meyɛ PS o na obi nso aka meyɛ SS o woka ɛnyɛ SS a ɛyɛ yareɛ but ɔmo ka ɔmo status a ɔmo de wɔ kurom ha nti sɛ wonyɛ PS a wobɛyɛ SS anaasɛ wobɛyɛ F ɛka ne sɛ indefinite leave to remain and no cry and also the short form near saying and no more what system no. So let's dive into this particular topic. Eunice mesa atun safra we tie for na hwe for me someone need dem mo share program ne mame na enkwe chichichichichi pa we have just about 1 hour 30 minutes and now 1 hour 20 minutes to dive into this topic now for there you be telephone lines no e dey atum na once we be nti e be spend just few minutes pe near dey achechu mu na question bia e wo ho a na wafrɛ na Eunice eyi wa no nti me bisa say would EU national and their family members be affected by the proposed changes to the settlement rule now and not near ba be kan Eunice ye be di kan start every baby na yenhwɛ EU nationals no any omo family members yenhwɛ categories a yewo say obia say wukunu ye EU ni a na kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ ana say den na be kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ EU ni ana den na be kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ EU family yɛmfa nhyɛ ase mfiri hɔ na yɛhu nkrɔfoɔ omo gyina bia ansa na afe yaba deep into the topic no na yehu nti pacho wadaroma whilst you give us the question maybe say na dem ehun say me back it to a person ne program no so viewers let's ma hayen won say I told be ankwala no they want to be part of us and if you hear a child talking and I say bibia misremo mamunye or any offended bia ya na etodi bia sa na eba no until Eunice yen koso na yen chiche mo hwanum na mo ye you national na say family members hwanum ansa na ye start yen we ne kra
Nti that's bebree for your question and asembisa we bisa no. I think so when it comes to EU nationals, I know say titirina enim say the European Union is made up of most European countries, about 27 of them, and Britain decided some will be free as of the year 2018, year, should I say, referendum, mubisa British phone say, mupese mutine manasa mupese mufrim, and decided some will be free. And as a result, we had to have the EU exit withdrawal agreement. I bet nkurɔfoɔ a wɔbɛtumi ada so atena UK kurom ha even though a wɔkita EU passport. Nti when we talk about EU nationals and their family members, we are talking about those countries that are member states of the EU a efiri ɔmo kurom abɛtena UK kurom ha, and their family members as defined under Article 10 of the withdrawal agreement, which was dated in October 2019. Nti EU for ne British for ne tena ase ɛkeka ɔmo nsɛm ɛna ɔmo this agreement no ɛbaeɛ. Nti under Article 10 it talks about the fact that union citizens who are already in the UK and for which is their family members who are also resided in the UK, and it speaks specifically about direct family members as under Article 2 of the Directive 2004/38. It is almost say family members are almost direct family members such as Wumba, parents, oyere, kunu, and then obviously great grandchildren or grandchildren also come into that family member definition as well. And then they also look at the fact that there might be other family members other than that under Article 2. And then there are those family members as defined under Article 3.2 of the directive. Internal Sano, those family members are extended family members who were already in the UK before December 2020. Nti sɛ na ɔmo te kurom ha na ɔmo wɔ residence card anaasɛ some form of residence ɛwɔ UK kurom ha deɛ then they will also come under the scope of Article 10 of the withdrawal agreement na UK for NA EU for no sign here. And so yes, we have that agreement in place, and EU nationals no any UK for no epene say there will be a transition period, and that transition period will be from January of 2020 to December of 2020. Into that whole year was a transition period, and they decided to give a grace period from January 2021 to June of 2021. I know they almost said there were some European countries such as Denmark for no Eka said they would rather that they will extend their grace period to 2023. But obviously, there has been that agreement, and see, most people, even though they may have also, let's say, retained their right because ABR, for one reason or the other, they have um, broken up or family member no every man say free krum ha, they too would also come under the scope. And I know say when it comes to EU for omo eye adwuma ewo krom ha ene British for omo ko EU no mu a omo ko ye adwuma a omo san aba no, which is also known as the Zambrano principle. I mean the Zambrano principle, where the children of British citizens can also derive their rights. And then we have the same principle where obviously British for now more ako EU no mu ako ye juma mo sande mo family eba back no. That also became another means by which almost some to mean so in your rights after the 2021 grace period. So there are different categories of people who come under the scope of the agreement now. Omone EU for no etna ho ehyehyɛ. So all those people come under Article 10 of the agreement, and they are also people who would, I would say, would also gain from the settlement scheme now. Home Office for no, and as a government for no, edibaye.
Okay. Yo, Eunice, mema 1 minute show kakra ewo introduction now they are my and even talking about the family members and what is binding, you know, both the nationals and the family members and what is binding, you know. Into no meda si ewo hon. Ye beto aso nansa na beto aso mesra mo ni de mo mumbo mo dia na mo share program na mame call someone to join share it uko Facebook na and like the page bomodia my likes na Facebook call YouTube and also sa no I share the page, copy the link now you share what they call WhatsApp no so now I share to all your groups no say this is happening and you know among modi no munti ne nya enchechemu se wonti bibia se there's always another time, and I said just after the program no be call office so another call lawyer Eunice na odin nkyerɛkyerɛmu de ama wo honum enti no yɛbɛkɔ yɛnum yɛwɔ I've pile up a couple of questions, about 3 major questions bi am person me bisa was adi ho na yɛbɛyɛ ne ntɛmtɛm sɛ na yɛbɛbɛ telephone lines no in the next 10 minutes na ama nkurɔfoɔ ntumi nso enya akwanya na ɔmo ebisa ɔmo questions no nti no deɛ na yɛka about the EU nationals say would the EU nationals and their family members be affected by the proposed changes to the settlement rules na eba no nti no say Eunice Eunice wo hɔ a, me next question I me ma ma piling it down kakra. Mpɛ sɛ mebisa sɛ Enti wɔakyerɛkyerɛ yɛn all this withdrawal agreement ne nea ɛkɔ baeɛ European Union ne baabi a ɔne yɛn fefaafe nyinaa yɛate wɔ hɔ aseɛ. Nnuadɔfoɔ sɛ afei na wɔadjoin yɛn a na wonte biribi ase a ɛmbɔ hu koraa Lawyer Eunice ɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu deɛ wobɛkakye wobɛsi you catch the revelation in no time, so don't worry too much. Na wohwɛ topic na yɛka na then wowɔ question bi a just put it down, jot it down. As soon as I open the telephone lines you can call. The same way say untumi mfra, you can leave a voice note and also betumi send a WhatsApp message. You betumi akayama. Intimi question back me say, can I still apply for settlement if I have retained my rights and I'm no longer a family member of an EU national? Where a typical example and crofo bebree omo mbia omo divorce omo family way no omo ni ho bi, but omo retain omo right in one way or the other, na so omo retain yem po a saa emra ebe me bisa say, can they still go ahead to apply for settlement if they have retained their rights and no longer with the family member with the family, sorry, no longer with the family member of an EU national no? So what me question as ya mpacho eden na obetumi acheche mu wo ho no.
Nti sɛ yɛka nkurɔfo a ɔmo aretain ɔmo right no, te sɛ sɛnea mekaeɛ no, Article 10 of the agreement covers a large scope of people a yɛnka ne sɛ ɔmo nso ɛbɛtumi abenefit from the settlement scheme. And we have to also know that as a result of that agreement, the agreement was also enacted into a UK immigration law. And so we have the EU Brexit Withdrawal Act of 2020. And that was what brought about the EU settlement scheme. So when we talk about nkurɔfoɔ retaining omo rights, that means that even though they are no longer with the EU national, they still have the right to apply to reside here in the UK as long as they were here before the transition period ended. And that deadline, which was 31st December 2020, it applies to everybody. Nti sɛ na wote kurom ha before the December 2020 deadline there, then you know that you are covered by the scope of this law. Nti sɛ ebia te sɛ sɛn a wokaeɛ no, wo ne EU nipa no adivorce anaasɛ EU national no ebetumi ayɛ webusuani a wewu, but still now, because of the fact that you meet the requirements, Nancy, you are able to show, say, you were a family member, but now because Nipakone film Nancy, Opesa will retain your right. And I said Nipakone I know when it comes to those who may have retained their rights, there are those who may have been in abusive relationships. So that is also covered because, of course, say if for one reason or the other there has been an abusive relationship, and because of that, there's no way that you'll be able to get any form of documentation to show that these are the documents that show that I was residing with the EU national and all of that. Now, that also comes under the retention of rights. Into if for any reason whatsoever there has been an abusive relationship, saa nimpa no also can also retain their rights if their relationship with the EU national has broken down. And see, when it comes to retaining your rights, all these different categories of people will be able to apply under the EU settlement scheme because also they are protected under Article 10 of that withdrawal agreement, which is very important because agreements no ena ɛma nhyehyɛe sɛnea UK foɔ no ɔmontumi deviate from saa agreement na ɔmo ne EU foɔ no ɛwɔ.
Okay, yate eno na se na kyerɛ sɛ still no possible but the whole thing is sɛ nka yɛnhu sɛnea proposal na ani so teɛ deɛ a na na yɛtumi agyina yie but metie for safe na wabɛto yɛn a mede nkyia kɛse de ma wo mekyia me nua Sir Fraser good morning to you as well ada tarebo me san asan kyia wo bio mu me da se say good morning lady Manyeti and lawyer Eunice mekyia megye so pa megye so yo lawyer Eunice yɛnkɔ yɛnim na sisi a yɛhu sɛ the whole thing is everything is possible but then or say how ebekono before you can because even though they are proposing these things there has been some rules already you nim say yeah binding with it so no proposal let's see how it goes so my next question is will I be eligible to obtain an extension through the government concession if I have lived here for 5 years or more we a questioner me bisa say me tie for munti a me san si so bi me bisa say will I be eligible to obtain an extension through the government concession? Once Eunice can say there are a few concessions in the system. And you know, if I have lived here for 5 years or more, me to me I eligible to get through near Omokana na Eunice.
And see, when it comes to those who come under the EU category, at least last week, Nameka said under the parliamentary library, they have said, say, EU for no, they are not going to be affected by these proposed settlements, and those who are under the partner routes will also not be affected at all. So
Mhm,
it's good to know that these categories of people will not be affected because there is that agreement already. So they don't have to worry that proposed changes not ever affect you or more in any way whatsoever. And when it comes to the fact that they have put some concessions in place, say, Yabekaya, I don't know how many of people who are watching right now are under the EU settlement scheme, but there was proposals 2 years ago about the fact that say when to me and yeah was settlements no after your pre-settled status has expired there
mhm,
government nankasa me ehu wo almost system no so say you are due for settlement and therefore they will send you an email to say so I extend it will stay
mhm.
ewo
Yeah,
UK Chrome
yes.
and many people who are under the scheme receive such emails to confirm say this is what they will be doing from henceforth, and that was as a result of a Supreme Court case where it was said say even though nipa baako ne refi say so yeah the settlement application no it became a thing where the government was saying, well, you've become an overstayer. Into
Mhm,
because you've become an overstayer, we cannot
mhm,
agree to give you settlements because you overstayed your 5 years.
mhm,
And sana yɛbɛma wo asetena no nti wontumi ɛnya saa indefinite no straight away and the court said no because you signed that agreement and you
mhm,
agreed to protect all those EU nationals and their family members who were resident or who resided here before December 2020. Nti, due to that agreement, you cannot now go back and say, the signing panel or need stay because
okay.
automatically no, signing panel will stay
Stay, yes.
based on the withdrawal agreement, they
Mm,
have that stay. Just
stay, yeah.
because Omurie fee says Omuye sa settlement application as soon as their 5 years was up, no, was
Mhm,
not a reasonable excuse for the government to prevent them from applying for settlement. And
yes.
so that was the reason, yeah, Can say, okay, into 5 years, no sooner you who system no so say 5 years, no so
Men.
automatically no,
Or
you
say,
bet now an extension of
mm,
another 5 years just for you to make that time to apply for your settlement
mm,
after that period. Into I know that they've also said that there are some people who they will give settlements to automatically, but
mm.
I don't know if there's anybody like that who has received
Yeah.
automatic settlement. But I know if say most people get the extension. I know there I have witnessed it, and so I know say I know there 5 years no so pay almost the extension back automatically for
Mm,
another 5 years. But I don't know and say a settlement. It's still
okay.
now you will still have to do that
Apply for,
settlement application for indefinite leave to remain. And
okay.
I know say some people may not even know Campo said the government have this concession in place, but it's
Mm.
important to know that it is in place for all those EU nationals and their family members who were residents in the UK before 31st December 2020.
Yo, yeah, betcha your home sima. Lioness made that say what churches, like you said, no, a ya na uncrofu be bring say even almost way no extension no. But when it comes to settlement status, there you need to do the application. The Home Office don't bet me I extend it and be a pre-settle now so. Now so refisa or so 5 years no wonkɔ extend na ɔrefi na wonnim ebia na wadwen kora nda hɔ ebia na woni na mu no nti na wofeel sɛ biribiara yɛ okay but then ɛba ne saa home office ɔno that was the agreement ɔmo de ba I think 2 years ago na ɔmo ayɛ extension na ama wo. But then ɔmo yɛ extension ma wo koraa na wopɛ indefinite na you have to make that application nti ɛnɛ na yɛhwɛ sɛ saa proposal ɛbɛ yi adeɛ yi ɛbɛyɛ affect na ɛna Eunice aba abɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu metwa me ho sima pɛ mesoma me muntie me success story ne baako pɛ na yɛfiri hɔ a na afei ne yɛatoa so meba sisia.
Client success. A skilled worker, dependent granted leave to remain despite his overstay. Case overview. Navigating a complex path to successful leave to remain. Our client was a dependent partner of a skilled worker with an initial leave to remain until 2027. Unfortunately, his partner's employer canceled her sponsorship. They both received a letter from the Home Office canceling their visas, which were due to expire in December 2024. His partner found a new sponsor who issued her a new KOS in December 2024 with 3-year sponsorship. She applied for further leave to remain before the end of the visa cancellation and was successful. Sadly, our client did not make his application. By the time we took his case, he had overstayed by 10 months. He explained that he didn't know he had to make a new application. The challenge: seeking to convince the Home Office to exercise its discretion in his favor. We made his application as soon as we received his instructions. We prepared a detailed cover letter to explain why the Home Office must exercise discretion in his favor, despite his having overstayed for more than 10 months. Our strategic approach for a successful application. We relied on the Home Office's discretion, explaining why he thought he didn't have to apply for further leave, although his wife had. We relied on the Home Office guidance and supported our representation with factors highlighted in the guidance notes. The updated Home Office guidance confirms that discretion may be exercised where the delay was beyond the applicant's control, or where the individual acted in good faith and has otherwise demonstrated compliance with immigration law. The outcome: granted 3 years leave to remain. Our client was granted 3 years leave to remain just a week after enrolling his biometric data. Takeaway: caseworkers may be able to exercise discretion under exceptional or compassionate circumstances where the application was submitted after the 14 days set out in exceptions for overstayers. You must always consult a lawyer when faced with such a complex issue. Facing complex immigration issues? Contact BWF Solicitors today.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Yo, etiefo na ahwefo mesa damase biom se matwen manyambre atwen ye na yitwa ye ho ede aba na se afe na wadwen ya na ye ka about say EU national any of family members no would they be affected by the new proposals ana eba for the settlement rule ne so no eba no ebe affect your man na say ebe affect your kra e wo kwan be so eno na ene me ne lo Eunice ye chichi mu ne ya chichi mu a akakra ne yewie na mom aka just about 5 minutes pe na me be telephone lines no e de atum na se wo question bi bisa wo ho kwan na wetumi ebisa nti sela Eunice wetumi ayewe na me less you can say me next question maybe obi bia metro no ma say ye free ho na yembisa na afedie yemfa yembie telephone lines no entum se ne be ya dodo na betumi ebisa question na so ma frɛ no mo ebisa say be affect your man say affect your man. Nti me next question la you say why you ready ne say you can say what are the eligibility requirements to applying for indefinite leave to remain under the appendix yi you know yenhwɛ eligibility no nti yɛhwɛ a na afide yɛtumi esi supi sɛ nneɛma na ɛba no hwanum na ɛbɛ affect your na hwanum na entumi affect your nti na there ne requirement na yɛwɔ for applying for indefinite leave to remain under the appendix you no pacho madaroma.
That's it, and see when it comes to EU settlement scheme now you wanna we know say as a result of the withdrawal agreements UK for no Edinburgh in Bremu say so the agreements no so into they have put within our immigration rules no the appendix EU to cover EU for no any for na UK Chrome ha. And you also realize that you have UK the appendix EU family permit and no cover nkurɔfoɔ a wɔpɛ sɛ wɔde wɔn abusuafoɔ no still eba which you would have to show said those family members were family members before the end of the transition period, which was 31st December 2020. And see, most of the people who were resided in the UK before 31st December 2020, no, will have to um, make sure that they are applying to the EU settlement scheme. And I know, say, yende yabohude rosa say, of course, people will need to apply to the EU settlement scheme. However, I know, say, there are still those who have permanent residence under the old EU regulations. Omun NC Crampo say and some who Crampo say they still have to apply under the EU settlement scheme. So of course, this is also an announcement to nkurɔfo no kita permanent residence who say they still have to apply under the EU settlement scheme. And so when it comes to Appendix E, say wote kurom ha before the 31st of December 2020, ɛsɛ wotumi kyerɛ say you have resided here for a continuous period of 5 years. And of course, you will have to show evidence of the relationship with the EA national. For instance, sɛ memete UK kurom ha na me kunu yɛ EU ni na mekyerɛ sɛ because of the fact sɛ matena UK kurom ha for a continuous period of 5 years, I would definitely have to show evidence of relationship. Sɛ me ne EU nipa no yɛyɛ ɛyere ne ekunu. Nti metumi akyerɛ that we are family members because I am kunu. And then I will also have to show say I have resided here for that continuous period of 5 years. They've also said when you are showing evidence of continuous residence now, they expect say you will show say you have not been absent for a certain period of time.
Therefore, mofa nkyɛyɛ ɛnɛ yɛba ne se ohia attention kyɛn program na yɛyɛ no. So let's just pardon us a bit. What is Lawyer Eunice saying? Near all no main ka kakra near ɔkaeɛ no sɛ wobɛhwɛ dodoɔ naa mekɔ m'akyi kakra dodoɔ naa bi ɔmo permanent resident na ɔmo permanent resident na yɛaka no permanent resident na ɛne ana ɔmo adwe ɛyɛ ɔmo sɛ ɛne ano no you don't need to apply for any indefinite leave to remain anaasɛ under the EU settlement way no or sɛ wokɔyɛ wo settled status no ebi mu na ɔmo nim ne saa nti no ebi mu ɛka akyire a ɔmo ntumi ankɔyɛ but there was a bit of time a yɛde ma ɔmo no ɔmo ngo so ɔmo nkɔ na ɔmo nkɔyɛ saa agreement yɛ ɛbɛ na yɛbisa sɛ hwanum na ɛbɛ affect ɔmo no Lawyer Eunice aka na afei yɛka the eligibility sɛ wobɛyɛ na wode apply for EU settlement scheme no nso na yɛdi ho ɛbobɔ sisi a na sɛ akwadaa no ɔma yɛ hard time kakra but ne nyinaa yɛ sisi a no nea ɔpa kyerɛ ne sɛ first of all sɛ wobɛ apply na you're eligible a you must continue to live here 5 years ɛna afei nso in the relationship with the EU national no nti ɔhɔ na ɛm sɛ nkyerɛkyerɛmu na ɛba ɛna meba no take over until Eunice mɛsa ato ɛde ama obiom.
That's very yes, it's not make us in regards to those who are family members, no, they will have to show say yes, no muti krom ha before 31st December 2020, and that they have continuously resided here for a continuous period of 5 years. Into some continuous period now, they are trying to say there hasn't been any period of absence. And when they talk about any period of absence, let's remember we can continue it means udaswa ewo UK kurom ha. But say if for any reason you've had to be absent ABA for a period of 6 months within a 12-month period, yeah, then you will have to give them reasonable reasons. The entire now why absent. Some of the reasons could be that ABA na way to kind usua deɛ anaasɛ woyareɛ anaasɛ because of COVID no nti wontumi amba back. So there are some reasonable reasons that you can give to show said because of rainy nti na mentumi amba back. But if for any reason you have been absent and you are not able to give any reasonable reasons there, then unfortunately, no, it means you will not be able to apply for your settlement straight away. It will have to be after a continuous period of 5 years. And usually, when it comes to showing that continuous period, now I always say, provide as much evidence as possible to show say ampa because of the fact say matna ekrom ha me ne me kunu no I can provide evidence for myself, I can provide evidence for me kunu, and say ebia wo kunu no ɛba kurom ha gye a wo deɛ a, then definitely it means sɛ ebia wo kunu no nso ayɛ ne settlement anaasɛ wayɛ ne indefinite leave to remain application. I'm just using wo kunu as an example, but there are other relationships such as parents and child, grandparents and grandchild, and all of that. I'm just using Ekunu as example. But when it comes to showing evidence of the fact that yes, Matna Krumha for that continuous period of 5 years now, then it's essential to show say yes, na mene EU national nete and I say na memete Krumha for that 5 year period. In see I've been able to show evidence from every area 3 months and I say for every 4 months no I have evidence to show say yes I'm panama to chrome her, because that's the only way they can see say I'm panama with the UK chrome her, because of the fact that you have shown a proof of address for every 4 months, and I say you have shown evidence that you were still in school, and I say you have shown evidence that you were continuously working. And see, anything to show say you have lived there for that continuous period will help them to know say yes ɛyɛ nokorɛ saa nipa wei watena kurom ha for that continuous period of 5 years. And the same applies to obi a retaining ne rights ɛwɔ UK kurom ha. Usually you have to show say yes you meet the requirements for retention of rights, and that you will also have lived here for that continuous period of 5 years. Saying almost so to me ɛde will indefinite and answer will settlement no amount. Usually because of the EU settlement scheme Ninti, they went to me and share evidence of the continuous period of 5 years na or evidence of the most recent period, and I said the most recent dates na or the application na they will say, okay, you don't meet the requirements for settlement, but ABI you meet the requirements for pre-settled, and I say 5 years. Instead of indefinite, no, yeah, of 5 years instead, because you've been able to show the required relationship and evidence no for the recent ABI months. No no san no yɛbɛma pre-settled and answer 5 years residence no. Into once you have been able to show that you have lived here for continuous period of 5 years, na the indefinite and answer settled status now. So it's important to also note that when providing evidence, provide as much evidence as possible. Senior almost so say ampa enokre also what's not UK come for that continuous period.
Good. Yo, Eunice, you better say, I did more, a mudo kakra, last bit ni de a okay. The first three no, and I still are me jidi se nkrofo ebe wo questions a ompe so mbebisa efa saadi we. You can't when we say the word proposal proposal no just say dream pobia nkrofo pese bibi ompe so omoye anase say na ye kire se ye pese ye. Enti no eno nkyerɛ sɛ ɔmo ayɔ anaasɛ ɔmo nyɛ ɔmo nyɛ na nea ehu ni sɛ when it comes to for past experience a yɛwɔ no anaasɛ previous yɛka ne sɛ activities a home office for ayɛ no ɛma yɛhu sɛ ɔmo wɔ adwemmɔpɔ bi a ɛyɛ possible sɛ ebetumi aba so anaasɛ ɛmba so. Ɛna ebi mu nso wɔ hɔ a proposal no koraa mpo deɛ ɔmo mfa mka ɛmbɛka proposal yɛbɛda nyane a na ɔmo aka sɛ hey yɛastarte sɛ yɛyɛ sei nti ɛno ano no yɛyɛ ebi ne saa student foɔ no a yɛtwa ɔmo nso no sɛ they can no longer apply for skilled as a skilled workers no ɔmo ntumi nkɔ saa route ne so biom no ebi no ɛno ne yɛfrɛ no sɛ sudden death wɔn yɛtwa ade kye ya ɔmo ada ade kye ya agbam ne yɛde abɛto hɔ nti ɛno deɛ wonni hwee ba wei deɛ ayɛ proposal ne nti no enya mbaayɛ a yɛnim sɛ mmere kakra da yɛnim ansa na yɛka ne sɛ afe no akɔ awieɛ no sɛ biribi kɛ a wonim sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ afa wo deɛ a wogyina so sisi and I think that this is the right time or say you tutu saa anamon me a making me shemu bi pie so I know what I'm talking about enti yentu anamon na yen try say ne dida da yinim no yen try na yen claim free on nti afi omo ye yo mo proposal mo changes na ade no we be see se be ka yen kra na enka yen kese ma yentumi enye ho hwe enti no we be see ne ya cheche ne nyina maybe a telephone lines no na wotumi won so we bisa wo question bi wo ho a opese obisa akwanya da ho obetumi afrɛ ye 07596620 sans na obetumi nso afrɛ no on WhatsApp ufrɛ no WhatsApp a yɛbɛbɔ na yɛbɛfa na wotumi akasa afei nso betumi nso eja voice note me kasa wobɛkɔ WhatsApp na wemia microphone icon no na wakasa wɔ mu na afe eno nso ebetumi aba na so betumi eja message betai testing message nso e de aba se program na wo hwe no nso I would love so be type message no program ne so nso na yetumi ehu interaction no wo ho na eno nso ma kenkan e de ama na yetumi akoyenim enti mesra me bie telephone line 020075 sorry 07596620 say yenya first caller and ponko pentem odofo ho ahoma so mpacho o kasa friend him ente wonka
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My kasa friend so.
Okay.
My friend Daniel.
You
My
also.
question now is saying beside the same. Maybe they need our year you.
Mpacho my voice in kosoro kakra ma me why.
But okay. Maybe any our year what you
Aware okay.
Now, the same you say, yeah, change it by now, 30 years really. Sibia, you know, Sisiam Sanka, in our women, I can retain the right. You can't understand the power because
Kasa no manti ho ni ye manti last bit ni ye osi wa ware ye you ni pacho sa na tie na de any question no
question then say we should say we want the changes, you know, after 10 years, say in case somebody was 3 years back and few second question, that's it. Say, say we change your right now. Our best, so it's now we
retain your right no.
So we change your right now. Our best now so we that's what you meant to do that what we are be a proof of aggression and that's what we are searching our best and I'll be fired.
Okay, yo papa me da say me jiri say wa share program ne de me da say lo Eunice be you are no ota tie ya nka sa retention of right no embia wo be kai because ye di ho dwuma
I think say
Oh, kafra. Yo, no problem. Like Eunice be you are no. See, our question is say, what worry you ni? And to be say, who worry how many years ni?
Van say, every junior chairman, 5 years.
And ubenya 5 years. Into be say new.
Yes, but in fact, we can't no. If we ever next year, it will 5 years. But our lady, they are not there.
Before 2020, no.
Yeah,
Okay. Yo, Eunice be man boy. A question be what baby until they did so me why?
Okay, I think say the first question was whether these changes will affect
That's
or
correct.
no the area. So
Mm,
in terms of these proposed changes, Nadia, based on parliamentary frequently asked questions and their at some websites and also there, the government's proposed changes will not affect EU nationals. Like I said, because of withdrawal agreements now, which was signed in October 2019, they cannot withdraw back on that agreement. They have to stick to it, whether by hook or crook. And not there. Yan can say it is now binding because Omode Abeshe UK in Brandomo as a result of the EU
withdrawal.
Exit Withdrawal Act of 2020. They cannot now say 5 years no almost 10 years ama EU for any almost for it's not possible. Nti it would not affect them in any way. But in terms of how he can retain his rights, no, the or say or no any yere omo a divorce na or can say he wants to retain his rights, they have to be able to show say at least they were married for 3 years
Mm-hmm.
and they resided here in the UK for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Nti I'm sure say because not all cast omo worry before December 2020 there, of course, more than 3 years. And he has to be able to show say omo tina bomo for at least 1 year in the UK. And
Mm-hmm.
if he's able to show that they divorced, so to make sure say yes, answer no divorce no na omo tibom. And then since divorce no so ɔno nso ada so atena UK kurom ha because of um the way the law is. Unfortunately, you still have to be able to show say now EU nipa no te. And I know that people will always say but nipa na ebi wetu afiri fie hɔnom a me nko ara mete hɔnom no ɛbɛyɛ dɛn na menya biribi. At least if there's evidence of even tenancy agreements to show say na monye no mu din ɛwɔ so a mote fie hɔnom a that helps in a way. And sometimes it might be say nipa ko no asesa ne nneɛma akɔ but ebi a ɔgya ne letters kakra bi wɔ baabi a ebi a wanhwɛ cramp no ɔgya ne letters wɔ hɔnom nti wobɛtumi aprovide ɛno no to show say at least ne nipa no ɔne me te efie baako. I mean, there are some people whose divorces are amicable. And say, no, no, Ubisa and Papono say, oh, my, they will be able to provide it. Where the relationship didn't end amicably, and no, and they as no, because then it becomes difficult to get some form of evidence. But as much as possible, no, say, Ube to me at Shem Kwan say, Ebia, GP Crampo na mo no na mowɔ the same address so anaasɛ tenancy agreement koraa mpo no na mowɔ the same address. Nti those things help because you will still need something to show sɛ na mote bom ansa na mo divorce. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, Papa, so when you're
If I China last question, I come but what can I actually say? Same person say, yeah, divorce or not, and they are no. When can I apply for? Simple say, me who say, me no 1 year no, which never provide 1 year and there. And I say 1 year no address no intervals na so and I'm no, because then my divorce no china. When can I apply for the visa?
And you'll bet me apply na Eunice.
Yeah, so 1 year, no. I mean, you've passed that 1 year because that was so
Exactly.
worried for more than 5 years. If at any point,
yeah, 1 year there, so what I kind of say, 5 years in there, about 5 years in there, the money you will be a no, but I mean, not saying yin child, but you see, and I say, no, maybe a fucking see, and I mean, say, who say, see a child in the year, when can I apply for the return right?
at any point in
And
time.
I'll bet me I na ditching ya, I'll bet me I papa.
Oh, okay. I'm not the same. I'm not
So wait to me, Martina 5 years, dear, you've retained your right, no. Son and call patch, no. Into no hair. What I say, you. Thank you very much. You, me as you say. Thank you. And learn as it back what me say, na you can retention of right na. Ebi mo enhye da enti nyoma bi asikiti kakra bi wo ho. But me foforo. Yo, telephone lines na yedi dwuma na 075966201154. Ubetumi afre na you yamboa yamao answer lawyer Eunice wa ha ufre a ubetumi so wo question bi nso opese ode ba akwenya eda ho question back wo board no so Sarah Fraser or see good morning welcome to our social media program. Okay now my greetings. I thought say a question. Sorry, thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, beko yenim na ya asa aka na Eunice ye kan saying brother ye or kase na atwin madwin eba question bi so about sa EU national settle way no sisi ano na che say based on nia twem Brexit withdrawal agreement blah 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 na yakoso nyina say obi EU ni na owo krom ha on worry but you need we're retaining the rights or what's not more than from 2020 no what's not has up to this time now opese afi no opese call warrior sa ono na warrior no ebe fall still under you and I say no beba immigration UK immigration so
Yes, and see, when it comes to evidence of relationship, like I was explaining before, no, the withdrawal agreement covers in Crawford, all family members, and as a normal at UK Chrome before the 31st of December 2020. It is over to me actually say ampa ebia meware me kunu anasa meware me yere before 31st December 2020 there,
yeah
then you'll be covered under the EU settlement scheme because sana agreement next year. But say ebia afi ena maware inti me EU ni afi na mamare me kunu just this year ya na ye ware and the EU settlement scheme no end to me and cover me kunu
okay
no into a semi kunu a application no under the immigration rules appendix FM because
okay
they will not be covered under the EU settlement scheme. In
so
Sano, they will have to meet different requirements and
right.
pay for home office fee near immigration health surcharge and also.
Yo, Matthias, me da se. Odofo bi wa homa so na ma ND 6703. Mpacha yetie o kasa free.
Hello, mommy.
Good morning.
What's your family friends? I'm the Tasha 3. Let me help.
Yo, bra Prince mpacha koso yetie o.
But what's I'm going to say? You will be the bad. The new panel, you come by sending a letter, let it be this. Mama,
30 days.
Yes, Yami Aduma. The first of January.
Mebo. nipa no na ono akọka kyerɛ mo office oni woni ho biom.
You would be a but no one may receive a lesson. Or also cry by and I said, or Mamma can come in never will be now.
Okay, and I'm about 30 days, you okay.
Not the percentage you say, we are both of our, say, which might be here and the actually have to be
right. Nani pano
Now
da
me say Ojawa na.
Ojawa na he.
There be what can be biati. And one say, let them know, and then work no centra. And you receive let them there, and I can't then to be some let them know. I also a family car will fit to your family. But me was so to gather or shut out the kitchen, one fast that the movie I saw now ascending the letter. One happy to honest or family car, but me one or one family.
Oh, some. And I saw America, awarefoɔ deɛ wokɔ America and some mmienu nyinaa na mbɛkɔ ana. Well, Eunice, nsɛm ne say no yɛka ne sɛn.
I mean, when it comes to situations like this, obviously it means there must have been a very, very bad way separation and into akɔba ne saa nti sɛ wamma woehu say ni say ɛna ɔreyɛ na home office for de saa notice asɛnde wo sɛ ɔmo cancel wo nkrataa no within 30 days there. Most likely sɛ wetu kwan efiri kurom ha it means that you cannot rely on her anymore nti it means that you will have to find an alternative route to switch to because ɔno no efiri kurom ha nti there's no way ɔmo betumi ama wada so atena kurom ha because ɔno no ɛkɔ nti most likely I know they would tell you in their notice say either say wobɛhwehwɛ another route to switch to anaasɛ wobɛfiri UK kurom ha and most likely say wopɛ sɛ wo switch a it is the work route ebi a woyɛ adwuma ɛna ɔmobɛma wo COS ɛno nti wo switch it to that anaasɛ ebi a woanya obi foforɔ a ɔka wapɛ w'asɛm ɔno nso ɔpɛ w'asɛm wo nso pɛ n'asɛm mopɛ sɛ moware ɛno nso saa no nso ɛyɛ another option. And I know so when it comes to these things, a lot of the time people are looking for ways to see how they can best retain their rights. I think say with issues like this, it's better say we book your appointment now you know what's nice and yeah share with full circumstances now you how best to help you in such a situation. Yeah.
Okay. Some of bra to one am why.
And to be patched in on name the crabs are my father and a bomb which is up. I mean, I found it because the associated family can be now.
Nti wo de no ho akoye extended way embia na nneoma bi we kire a enye bibia na betumi ede ne je wo abonten so book an appointment na ko hu lawyers no pour your way no na ye hu kwan a e betumi afa so why
okay me pa check the number we are on this
book your appointment call BWF Solicitors for na book say you want to meet lawyer Eunice into on your appointment na ma na wa akọ so also him from Birmingham. So you can have a telephone conversation or a video conversation. Say untumi emba, say ubetumi abanso a you can just take a day off now while date no about be hono. Why? Share program name mama why? Me that's it. Bye bye. Yo, your question producer Fatu Sumami na Fatu Sumami, yes. Kofi Asamoah say, oh, bra Kofi, etisanyo. I see, I live in Coventry and my wife is at Newcastle. Please, I want to know the kind of proof of address I will need to meet ILR since I have only payslips, bank statements, water bill, HMRC letter on her address. Please, is that enough to apply for So we dear enough fan. And now lioness. A lioness. Enough.
I mean, one cat specific routes, but of course, when it comes to making indefinite leave to remain,
Uh-huh.
him and his wife will have to show evidence that they've been living together if he's on the
Exactly.
partner route. Into
Yes.
say our partner route no so na or say I omo ye ere any kunu and pap because on the basis of which they gave you will leave to remain no no so ena omo begyina so e de ama wo indefinite no so
Mm,
in order to show say maware no wɔ hɔ ebutim so also to Coventry and now also to Newcastle yes you have evidence to show that
mm,
you live together
mm,
um of course you have to be able to show almost say at least six official letters for both you and Oyerino to be able to show say ampa
mm.
mamare no ewo hɔ saa. I'm assuming say you are living there because of work reasons and you come home as and when you are not working. But usually, as long as you are still residing with your wife, so what evidence na kyerɛ sɛ moda so te bom a woyɛ wo indefinite na mode ne nyinaa aka ho.
Okay. Yo, enti Kofi Asamoah, eno ne why, bohu kra. Rosa Owusu edum chumwa, thank you also. You can say, me hu sɛ nkɔmmɔ bi kɔ so yo yɛatietie mu Rose owusu a ɛde ɔse greetings council Eunice, thanks for the good work yɛn nso yɛda ase ɛwɔ hɔnom the marriage is ongoing paa oh okay yo yɛnkɔ yɛnim Eunice yɛnkɔ yɛnim yɛka ne sɛn sɛ obi membo ne question no watwerɛ no wɔ nkran mu nti no ma menkan na me me mendane ne twi anaa aborɔfo ɛmfa mma yɛn yo nea ɔpa kyɛ ne sɛ ɔwɔ ha ɔgye universal credit na wanya dɔfoɔ bi wɔ Ghana nipa no akakra no akɔ pension na kyerɛ sɛ n'ani gye ne ho yie a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔware na obisa sɛ with ne universal credit na ɔgye no ɔnhyɛ da ne ho ndware ne papa nti watena fie for ɔse yɛde ne to hospital for one sorry bɛyɛ 11 months ɛna yɛyii no for the past 5 years nea ɔnhyɛ da nyɛ adwuma ɔwɔ benefit ɔwɔ universal credit so na wanya dɔfoɔ bi wɔ Ghana ɔpɛ sɛ nka ɔware no na ɔmbɛtena ne nkyɛn na ɔndodɔɔdɔ ne mu kakra nkakra kwan bɛn so na ɔbɛfa ɔsɛ ɔno nso kyerɛ 29,000 ne bi anaasɛ dɛn na ɔbɛtumi ayɛ afa ho ɔne papa yi di nkɔmmɔ akyɛ ɔmadi nkɔmmɔ a nti no ɔwɔ WhatsApp message video calls deɛn bebree a ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔtaa ne di nkɔmmɔ pa ɔno ara na ɔkyekyere ne werɛ da biara nti na ɔbɛyɛ dɛn na waware nipa yi ɔsɛ ɔkɔ fie a na ɔsɛ ntumi ntu kwan nkɔ fie because n'apɔmu nhyɛ da nyɛ den nti dɛn na obɛtumi ayɛ a papa yi bɛtumi abɛka ne ho wɔ kurom a
Okay, nti first thing first,
mhm,
sɛ ɔka sɛ wɔahyia obi na ɔmfa n'ani ehu nipa korɔ no da a,
mhm,
there's a requirement under Appendix FM that says that you have to show say you have met.
mm,
Nti sɛ wohyia nipa korɔ no online koraa mpo no a, you
mm.
still have to show say woahyia saa
Yeah.
nipa no. You
Ɔde
have met.
message aba ɔse nipa no ɛtaa ba visit wɔ ha
Okay.
ɔba visit wɔ
Okay.
ha paa nti ɔba biara nso a ɔtaa ne ne piepie na ɔmotwitwa photos ne adeade nti nipa no deɛ ohu no ɔba visit wɔ ha
Okay.
bɛ ɛhɛn.
Okay. 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 Nti as long as you are able to show say ampa ɔmo ahyia ɔmo ɛbɔ nkɔmɔ ɔmo wɔ saa genuine and subsisting relationship no a, then you can take the relationship requirement.
Mhm,
In terms of awareɛ no deɛ I know sɛ ɔse ɔntumi ntu kwan nkɔ efie nkɔyɛ awareɛ
mhm.
nti ɔbɛtumi ayɛ efie awareɛ
Customer
ɛno na
marriage.
yɛfrɛ no customary marriage
Mm,
nti ɛno no ɔmo betumi ama ebusuafoɔ atena mu ayɛ biribiara na ɔmo akɔ register. Ɔmo register wie a na ɔmo de certificate no abrɛ no for the Ghana High Commission for no to also attest say, of course, the uh, attestations from Foreign Affairs and Judicial Service na ɛyɛ nokorɛ. When it comes to evidence of financial requirements, and no, I think it's not all bisa whether still so omitted that 29,000 and meeting that 29,000, yes, because in Brandon Society last year, and so you have to meet that 29,000 unless you can show say you are receiving some form of injury benefit. And see, usually say ebia because of disability na nipa kono ebo no ontumi enye adwuma nti ebia o receive injury payments and say disability allowance and say personal independent payments, any form of injury or disability payments because ontumi enye adwuma no, then they can look at that and say, okay, you don't have to meet the 29,000, but because of benefits we are OG, you can make the application and then we'll say that you meet the maintenance requirements. Into it's not all benefits, but specific ones like they are movable. So, yeah.
Okay. Yɛdase lawyer Eunice yɛdase yɛmmerɛ no kɔ na memto me nsa mfrɛ lawyer Annie na ɔmfa the English version no ɛmbɛto dwa ɛma yɛn na afei yɛnsɔre yɛn aso. Nti lawyer Eunice is a lawyer Annie. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners, and happy Friday to you all. So, today I'll be providing a very short summary because of the time. So, the topic for today was: would EU nationals and their family members be affected by the proposed changes to the settlement rules? So, when we talk about EU nationals, what type of people do we mean? We just mean people who are from member states of the EU. There are about 31 countries. I mean, Germany, Italy, Spain, Greece, and the list goes on. And then when we say family members, if you look at Appendix EU, family members are direct family members. So that can be your parent, your children, your grandparents, husband, wife, or even grandchildren. So what is really important to note is that the proposals that the Home Office has put in place, they do not affect EU nationals at all because of the agreement that was signed, the withdrawal agreement that was signed in October 2019. So the Home Office is not able to introduce anything. For example, they're not able to say that now when it comes to the EU nationals, they have to be in the UK for 10 years before they are eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain. So that one is not possible due to what was signed in October 2019. When it also now comes to indefinite leave to remain, if someone has been in the UK for 5 years and they do not submit an application for indefinite leave to remain, in that case, the Home Office will just extend their leave by giving them another 5 years. So the individual, if you are eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain, after you've been in the UK for 5 years, it will not be automatic. In most cases, it wouldn't be automatic. You have to submit the application for indefinite leave to remain yourself. Otherwise, your leave would just be extended for another 5 years. And today we also looked at what the requirements are for indefinite leave to remain. So when you're submitting, if you're an EU national or a family member and you are submitting an application for indefinite leave to remain, you have to make sure that you have resided in the UK continuously for 5 years. And lawyer Eunice suggested that to prove that you have lived in the UK for 5 years, you'd provide evidence for every 3 months within those 5 years to show that you have resided in the UK. And when it comes to continuous residence, normally continuous residence would be broken if you have been out of the UK within 12 months for more than 6 months. So in that case, you'd have to explain why you were out of the UK for such a long time, whether that's due to your health or if it's due to COVID. So you'd have to give a reason as to why you've been out of the UK for that long. And you'd also have to show evidence of your relationship with the EU national. And yes, if you submit the application and you do not have enough evidence to show that you have lived in the UK continuously for 5 years, it is likely that the Home Office would just give you another 5 years. So it's important that when you submit the application for indefinite leave to remain, that you gather as much documents as possible to show that you have lived in the UK continuously for 5 years. So that is just a quick summary for today. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lawyer Annie Akufo-Addo Edase. Lawyer Eunice, yemre na ye bi, or say sorry,
Aye.
kwede
I think say when it comes to obviously the fact that this topic has been interesting for lots of people who are watching your promotion bebre more asembisa and I say bibia yentumi embisa ewo air so a pacho bebre ye the details no ebeto your screen also say mo pese mo friend your office no ye be from 9:30 to 6 p.m. into from 9:30 to 6 p.m. no move to me afre from Monday to Friday. Your number no 0208 493 7340. Mumbuke na at least yenemu indicate ho yenhu the way forward in regards to mo issues no. Nti nyame ya adom a sende ye besan ehia.
Yensu yeda se Rose mobuso a edutwumwa yensu yeda se tiefo na ahwefo ha na mmerebe ma ye ho kwan na emfa dwumedie no embedu nti medamo nyina se mo a mo hwe nyina mo a mo share ye nyame nhira mo a mo ntumi anhye please next time no metumi ahye wa otumi hwe from beginning to the end so nyankopon ka ho no on share the next time so no asa ka ye ho bi medamo nyina se have a lovely weekend. BWF Solicitors nyame adom tena the community and the law no ebeba so din more de ankasa but more than tune in 4 o'clock sharp to 6 o'clock na ededwumedi na abewie make a date with us ewo honom until then no me ne hwe ka bio ne meka ne say Christmas eba festive occasion eba enoma bebre eba nti ane aye ahwe yi na enigesem eba na afi obonsam no nso oye ne obepe until then adios medamo nyina ase media ne manyeti. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.